Hello everybody, Glowstone here, and welcome to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. This game just came out today, although this video will be released tomorrow, so the day after this game comes out. And I am excited. I have been waiting all month for this. This game looks really cool, but yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know how much I'll play in one episode. Audio, music effects, voices, subtitles on, text skip. No, I don't want to skip it. I'll just do low. Language, this is the hard one. Japanese or English? I think I'm gonna do English for those who don't speak Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, but still, I kind of like hearing the Japanese voices. But turn on this to enable story mode in place of autoplay. Autoplay? I don't know why they do autoplay. And then the special contents, which I did get the pre-release bonus, the early purchase bonus that added some stuff to the gallery. I dropped my controller, as I do in every single video. And yeah, so I added stuff to the gallery and the auditorium. So I don't know, but it added stuff, which I don't really care. But anyways, now we're gonna go on and we're gonna select our adventure. So we have the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolves. Which one to do, huh? Well, I'm gonna do the first one, obviously. I'm not going to do, like, the sequel.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Episode 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure. November 22nd, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Defendants, Antechamber 5. I still can't believe it. I can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I am a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident, and now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will not hold. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by students. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet, you said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. And I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in the court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud, as your friend. There's not a soul in the universe who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. But come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. So, see you in English class tomorrow. Then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Sogi, you may have a word. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me, but never mind that for now. Sogi? You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. Your advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you tomorrow in the courtroom. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name. Please tell me in the comments. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. Fun. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuya before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get to the government agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you, and you and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in the Great Britain. However, if you should fail and defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? As I suspected. You were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear! I'm not a murderer! I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry, what do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But, then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose certain questions to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not, do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious decisions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi may not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. This trial goes badly. Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. November 22nd, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom 2. So this is a courtroom? The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers have demanded that be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that shows to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It will become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency, as is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the Defiance made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedures for the defendant's advocate to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obligated to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defiant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You will be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. If it means you don't have faith in me, you think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defiant's desires to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Does the accused admit defeat already, renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? It's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, you can't be questioning it more than I am. So, we'll start with the very simplest of questions. Yes? Kindly state before the court name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous, I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R. If you ever find yourself you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. You should press R for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. Okay, this is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. You'll find details about the victims in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim of the people section of the court record. Press X to present. Try it now.
Yes!
The victim was none other than Kazuma Sobi.
Objection!
Oh, then why is that pompous-looking boy with the billowing headband still there sitting next to you? Oops. Oops doesn't do that justice. No content with having killed Dr. Wilson. Now you're claiming my murder as well? I haven't killed anyone. Then concentrate and actually read the court record before you answer. I must say, you were not instilling the court with much confidence here. Quickly, give him the correct answer before he turns his gravel on you. Find the victim in the people section of the court. Okay, yeah, got it. A second year in the Imperial Yuma University is my best friend, despite being soon qualified to find his way as well. A medical school professor. He's an authority for Professor and Kazuma's mentor. He's the lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the change culture information. I don't think it's this guy. The victim of this case. He was visiting a professor. Okay, he's the victim.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as of most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together, after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been split on our soul. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yuma University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policy makers. And you're a convenient and expeditious scapegoat to blame for this crime. Suspect's trial has the unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. Fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit the high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's visiting a professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defiant. Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in the court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find a piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select president. Do it now. Not president. Proof that I'm a student at the Imperial University. I always wear it on my collar when my jacket. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood. Okay. Obviously.
Yes!
Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. Okay, is there a okay, I just wanted to make sure. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Oh, okay, it has a ton. Okay, good. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Photographic print of the victim has been entered in the court record. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen here before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of this case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is so done. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikutaba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. That doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking to his oar in it, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Okay. Hey, butler. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter of the Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some... It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. A crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants in an Occident eatery 3 days ago. Understood, Hosonaga-san. You will kindly tell me to court everything you can about the incident. I cannot pronounce anything. At once, sir. No pretty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few dinners at that time of day. Yes, the middle of the night. The lunchtime rush was over and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out. So I hurried out to the dining area to see what happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. Well, I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor besides the professor. I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. Let me confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in our court today? Yes, without question. I see. Apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No, there was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I was over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And it's not something the waiter could have missed? I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Man, already some hard decisions. Not gonna interject though, I don't think I should. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I've never gotten into Maine University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know? If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you scared me. Don't forget the piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me. What are we going to do with you? Your blatant disregard for court procedures, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there a chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. Actually, I have a rough plan of the restaurant, as it was all that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. Ah, sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's drawn by himself. That's not right. That is not right. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Yeah, he drew it himself. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Oh, of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. So, the court has now heard of pieces of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defiant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. He called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of this case to the court. But I must warn the defense. If you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, prosecution has decisively evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duly bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witness. And then we'll see just how decisive the evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Achi, please continue with the proceedings. You were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. Prosecution calls its next witness. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witness at once. Witnesses, kindly state your... Ow! Hit myself in the nose with the controller. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Surrogate Yasunoza reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of the fine articles antiquity from the affluence of our nation, Nippon. And conduct my trade from our race day. I am urbanized in the 2nd District, Kyori Koreda, at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table, the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. Oh wait, is that that guy? Who's talking? Not infrequently. Converse with interest parties regarding the curios which make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is... Okay, that was the old man. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich cliente. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. There was a black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's impossible to understand this the other. Sir, I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw, the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by the ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most unsettled afternoon. Witness testimony? What the witnesses saw? I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a technical discussion with the old man. I thought there was no one at the restaurant. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particular fine golden trio to the military government. Gentlemen. At the precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed veracity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious the precious kid. Well, so you, Sergeant Nose, actually witnessed the vital moment? You saw the split second when the defiant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgettable enemy. What times we live in where an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang! Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine? Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. What in the name of Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess, the hatchet-maker headband boy next to told me to do it. How pathetic. How do you know? Prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it, it's irrelevant. Azuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, right? But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that the soldier has to be alive. It's had to be alive. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And to keep doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. If it's all or nothing. Oh yeah, cross-examination. What the witnesses saw. I was investigating a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old... Okay, so I guess it's just gonna go through this. So he was... I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Listen, Ryunosuke. You know there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them. I understand that. The question is, how? Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence with the witness is giving testimony with present are. Go through each witness statement and the detail about the present given and clear all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency. When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seems to contradict each other, present your evidence with X and rip the witnesses apart. Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. If you've dealt too many penalties, the defiance case will fall apart and you'll receive a guilty verdict. So that's it. Pursue then evidence on the court record and find an inconsistency with a witness statement. Alright, I'll give it a try. You can hear the witness's statements over and over again as many times as you like. Just keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner. Okay. Gonna have a save slot there, just in case. This will probably be the end of the video. Not right now, but in a little bit, so... Oh! The enemy's actions. From the back, the cowardly little weasel. Here we go, here we go, here we go. From the front. Look at that. Oh, yes! Okay. Here we go. We got this. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Trusting some photographic print in my mustache? Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There is a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print probably tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously. That, I don't know what to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think it's proof beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the grand courtroom. Ugh, so oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. Spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that clearly a clear discrepancy here because of the surgeon's statement. What? Surgeon Aisa Noza. Yes, sir. What, sir? That statement you just made was this. The black uniformed Ryunosuke had fired on the English citizen. And from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military great eyes, yes! Sir. But no, that just can't be. Why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the prints. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness's statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is obvious discrepancy here. Well, how'd you explain it? Well, What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down. Baby! Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Do you not agree, Sergeant Noza? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Till the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Corneville steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard was proving one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Aisa Nyoza, did not see the defendant firing the gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in the grand courtroom. Yeah. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what's been Ace Attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. The university cat it there. He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up from the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I've already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, but what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed. The Huey era Koban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Razute. In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military men that I proffered my white treasure. I believed that he would purchase such a rare find. I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes from the briefest moments, you snap your beard. Was there no more? It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there. Then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not. I was far concerned only with finding my absconded Hui treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoye Koman was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. The government has promised to send a full report to the Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ashi? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witness have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. Equally despicable to find, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind this prosecutor's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting to signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise through the ranks. Third, name, Ido. It seemed those straps are a sign of the surgeons being too strapped to him for nanny. Ido, teen Shun. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Well, anyways, guys, I think I'm going to end it here. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a like. I'm really liking this game so far. It's been really good. The box art is amazing. But thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. I'll see you in future videos. Bye.